What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 356. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And I'm here with Adam.
You ain't got no little tagline?
Dude,
And we're
Terry
fucking
Gilliam.
with Trav.
Terry Gilliam gonna sue somebody. Nah,
We watch Poor Things. And,
we watch porn things. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Wow.
Porn
I had
things.
no idea. Like, there was going to be that amount of screwing.
Yeah, right. Like Jesus Christ, dude.
Like, at least half the movie, right?
Yes. Yeah, I would say being conservative, I would say at least a good 45% of the movie is just
Was
banging.
just, what did they call it? Jumping? What was it called, Trav, when she called it jumping something?
They called it furious jumping.
That was it.
Yeah,
Furious
it's like,
jumping.
what the fuck?
Whoa.
Yeah. So this was based off of a book, of course.
Oh.
You know? Yeah. So, of course, the book is very much, from at least what I read, similar to the.
You're telling me this shit had a written word version before it became a film?
Oh yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
short book, probably.
Nah, dude, they had to go through all the emotions.
I mean, they had to get the message across.
So Poor
Yeah.
Things.
The fucking message. I mean, dude, listen. I know I was kind of quiet right at the top, but like, let me fire from the hip. Fuck this movie.
You didn't like it?
No, I'm kidding. I mean, it's one of them. It's one of those movies where you wonder if the shock and awe really has a purpose. And like at first, sure, she's got a Peabody brain and she don't know she don't know how to carry the one. So, but so I get it at first when it does, like as fucking weird as it was, the whole dinner table sequence at the beginning.
Yeah, she was a kid.
I mean, it's fucking weird, but like as they're as she's to show you she's getting smarter, it makes sense to show a weird scene like that where maybe it happens,
Yeah.
But then as the movie progresses, it's just like, let's just keep finding ways to make Mark Ruffalo fuck her, dude.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like, you know what? Fuck Mark Ruffalo. Let's just make the fucking the movie go for it, especially whenever she gets to the whorehouse and that old woman's like, here's your first chance, Fancy. Don't let me down. And she's like,
let me bite half your ear off. What was that?
Yeah.
What was up with that?
I don't know. There's some weird shit going on there.
I mean, I get that she's experiencing the world. The world sucks. Underscore it a few more
A very
times for
colorful
the next.
world. I'm like, my world don't look like that.
Dude, now that's one thing about this movie. Some of the shots
set
and the
design.
camera work was fantastic, man. Like I get, like did this? I know Oppenheimer did a lot of big wins and pulls, but didn't Poor Things win some stuff too?
Yeah. Emma Stone won.
Yeah, she won Best Actress.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, ain't nobody performed like that since fucking Jodie Foster did Nell, and she nailed it, dude. No
Yeah.
pun intended.
Staying in the wind.
That was my first thought, was like, okay, this is Nell if Terry Gilliam directed it, and then and David Lynch was in the far like corner going, make them fuck. Like,
Yeah, they had best production design.
Yeah. So a lot of it was, of course, shot on sound stages, and the director wanted to recapture that that painting, like
old Hollywood?
aesthetic. Yes, the old Hollywood films used to use, and that's why everything looked the way that it looked, is because he was trying to recreate that painting aspect
No.
of like backgrounds and things like that.
Now, I will say that there's something with the lighting in this movie that made me feel a certain way, like uncomfortable a little bit,
Yeah.
I don't.
Well,
I mean, it had nothing to do with necessarily what I was watching, even though that's uncomfortable enough. It's unsettling enough. Watching like when you're realizing what type of character Emma Stone is portraying.
yeah,
Um, yeah, just a lot of the lighting and shit. But to add to that painting, like for some reason, movies that always have those crazy little segue moments where it's like chapter two.
yeah,
It gives you a cue for where we're, like when scene change,
yeah,
and those crazy little visualizers they had behind that, where it would show her doing like weird shit, like
Riding
falling. It's
that
all just yeah,
riding the big fish when they were going on the
yeah.
trip.
Like I want a book of that type of art just to flip through. Like, the movie's beautiful in its own like disturbing way.
yeah,
But when she hit puberty,
yeah, right.
she's like, I figure out a way to make myself happy whenever I want to be happy. How's that?
Yeah.
He's nicking
So
her bits and bobs.
the book is called Poor Things: Episodes from the Early Life of Archibald McCandless, MD, Scottish Public Health Officer. It was written by Alice Dare Gray, published in 1992. The novel was called a magnificently brisk, funny, dirty, brainy book by the London Review of Books. It is a departure from Gray's usual subject matter of Glasgow realism and fantasy. However, its Victorian narrative takes in Gray's previous concerns with social inequalities, relationships, memory, and identity. And then, of course, it goes into the plot and all that stuff. Um,
Had a very Frankenstein's a monster feel.
yeah, and it's kind of like his
Reimagining of Frankenstein.
yes, yeah.
Because
But if
because when Defoe gives us the low down, he it like immediately the light bulb clicked for me and my wife. We were like, okay, so this is like a Frankenstein type, thing.
right,
Which what about those prostheses that fucking Defoe had on that face, man?
yeah. He looked good, and of
Yeah.
course did a phenomenal job as
I mean,
always.
yeah, Defoe's the bomb.
Yeah. Did you guys think that at the end they were gonna take his brain out and put it in the general?
Mhm.
Why didn't they?
I know, right? Like, what the fuck?
I was wondering. I was like, oh, well, they're gonna swap his brain for a better body. I mean, apparently
Yeah,
he's
like
got the no.
That's yeah, right. It's like, yeah, that's how
Like,
this
don't you
world
want to burp
works.
some
Oh,
bubbles, dude?
yeah,
I was like, what the fuck?
yeah,
yeah. Wasn't it strange how it started black and white, transition to color? So normally when we watch these movies where we go from a monochrome to all that stuff, there's usually a moment that
That was like her
signifies
baby
why.
phase.
yeah,
Yeah.
She's not gonna
Well,
remember any of that.
I felt
That
like
time in life where,
oh.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it makes sense why
that's
it
the
just
way I
kinda
took it.
goes away. Yeah, well, I mean, that makes a total fucking
Yeah.
sense to me because, like, that would explain why it just changes and it doesn't explain shit. Because you wake up one day and you're just fucking older.
Yep.
yep,
You
You
like,
start
the
seeing
world's
in
not.
color.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can jive with that.
yeah.
But, yeah,
Um,
I had noticed there was no big scene where you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whenever the big flip happens, like, be it, like, through a TV or, like the classic moment in Wizard of Oz where Dorothy, walks out into Oz and it's color now, you know?
yeah. Well, and they kind of had that moment because it was whenever um what's his name? Duncan Wedderburn was like, "We're gonna leave and show you the world." So it's like her, just like Dirt
Oh,
or
he
just like
showed her
Adam
the fucking world.
yeah. Well, just like Adam said, like, it signified her childhood, but also it signified her being sheltered for as long as she had been even when they
Yeah,
took her out in the woods that one
Yeah.
time, it was still in black and white, but, like, he opened the world up to her
yeah.
and in a way, well, in a couple of different ways, I guess you would say.
I mean,
Um,
all throughout the day.
mhm,
It was a packed itinerary.
yeah.
I just love how I love how he was just laying there and he just goes, "Try not to fall in love with me."
Yeah.
He's like, "We've went thrice," and and she's like, "Well, let's go again," and he's
Yeah.
like, "Well, let's sleep on it."
Yeah. I need a minute.
Like,
She's like, "Is this a defect in the male anatomy?" And he's like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Something, yeah, yeah,
He did
maybe.
a good job
yeah.
too.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. I even like the guy, um,
The guy that was
McCandless.
keeping the notes.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was awesome. I really
Oh,
enjoyed
poor
him a
guy,
lot.
man. He got friend zoned so fucking hard. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess he
right.
got her at the end, but he's about
Yeah,
to marry her, and it's like, hang on, let me run 1,000 dudes through this first before.
yeah,
It's like,
right.
you know,
Yeah, but I mean, whenever you kind of think about it, though, it kind of mirrors, like, they put an infant brain into her head. She
hmm
had, like, she fast tracked her life.
yeah,
Even though we don't really know the passage of time that happens here, like, she was a baby infant, and then her mind was like, her body was an adult, but her mind was, it's like if a baby was born with a full-sized human body,
yeah,
right? Like, and this is like some crazy nonsense to think about, but like, what if we were born 6 feet tall with the same way that we're going to look our entire lives, those
She was well, yeah,
limitations.
she was already running before she even crawled.
Yes, those limitations that you have of, like, growing older physically aren't there, but emotionally, they're kinda hyper focused, and that's kinda my takeaway from it was, like, whenever you go through puberty, that happens, and then whenever you start dating, you go through that whole phase, and then heartbreak, and then your screwing around phase, and then your drug phase, whatever you
Well,
go through.
it's also like, for instance, with her, it's a type of movie that it really does it tries to stir your moral compass a little bit.
Yeah, because she's a kid.
yeah,
When you by the near end of the film, you almost forget it in terms of just like the behavior for the character
Yeah.
to where it makes you have to go, okay, like she's making sense with why she like all the stuff she would say because of the doctor upbringing and all that. Even though she was spitting nail shit, she was still speaking some form of logic, you know?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like there would be moments where I'm like, okay, I see where they're trying to undertone this a little, where she would be like, we've always lived in God's house. We've never been
yeah.
outside of
But
it.
his name was
Yeah.
You
like
know?
Godwin.
Yeah. Which was
Whenever
a
the
nice little
dude,
spin.
he's like, you didn't know what a banana was 30 minutes ago, but you're using words like this. Like,
Like
Yeah.
empirical, yeah. And it's almost like I could see where this movie could get some people in a lot of trouble because they could look at it as a critique of different of men and women right now, of like modern portrayals of men and women. Men are more emotional than the women.
Mhm.
The women, like I don't have a fucking problem with that type of shit, but I mean, you see it online all the time, and all the different various articles talk promoting, the whole idea of like the norm where they question it and then they present different, and when you're so held in your own ideas and convictions, when you watch a movie like this, it it's hard to really, it's not that the characters aren't relatable. It's just it's shocking in and of itself.
Yeah.
And kind of like the
Oh,
way Mark Ruffalo's freaking out and being like, "I love you," blah blah blah. But just the cold, like analytical, like, I think we're kind of done here. Like,
yeah.
it still shows that regardless of intelligence, human instinct remains the same, of course, and it's gonna always pan out like that.
Yeah. Well, and regardless of intelligence and also, like, social dispositions.
Hmm.
Um, the thing that I thought was the most interesting was the relationship between Godwin and Bella, because whenever he speaks about his upbringing, he like he thinks that because of his father, he thinks that, like, a lot of this stuff that happened to him was almost a norm, but he knows it's not a norm. But the fact that like he found her, he put the baby brain inside the girl and then just allowed her to like mature and live her life. And he did try to shelter her, but of course he did. It was a baby's brain in a grown woman's
Yeah.
body. But like the fact that like he didn't take those extremes that his father, like it's one of those things where he broke that generational.
Well, I was looking at it as it was like it's like okay, let's and I know we're not comparing this to source material or anything. I know there's a book, so I'm sure for years it's a book came out in the 90s, so I'm sure there's well established like this is what this means, this is what that means, but just for my own interpretation, um it's like is I don't know. I'm trying to word it without being, trying to be careful about my own words, you know.
Right.
Um, eh. I mean, I just come back to me on that. I'm still trying to form. I'm trying to form it all because I'm still fresh off of my watch, so
Right.
I'm still in process mode.
Yeah. But that to me was the most interesting and fascinating thing because it's like, it took whenever you look at the bigger picture here, it took Godwin's father being as insane of a person as he was to progress science to the point where you can transfer a baby's brain into a grown human's, a grown adult's body, and using the child, which would
Yeah.
be Godwin,
Which is
as that focal point. And then the fact that like he didn't recreate and use, like he was a man of science, like he was a surgeon. He used the things that he had at his disposal there as opposed to using the living things around him as a way to like try to progress, you know what I mean? And like learn.
Yeah.
And I think to me that's really interesting and I like that aspect of it almost more so than like her journey and her plot and her story and everything because it's like he could have been a sadistic fuck. And like really you can look at it as he was a sadistic fuck for like doing this instead of just delivering the baby and raising the child. But I mean,
he
it's
just wanted to
almost
see
like
if it would work. I mean,
well,
dude,
and
he put a fucking pug's head on a chicken.
yeah, I know, right? He knew it would work. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I don't think he had any reservations about it working because
He's
of
like, it's
that.
an
You know what I mean?
experiment.
Yeah.
Bring it back,
Bring me
Spider Man.
Spider-Man.
But
Yeah.
but I will add this to that though. I totally want Willem Dafoe to be Dr. Moreau now.
Oh my god, that would be, I mean, it kinda was in a way.
I
Like,
mean,
but, as a, a different interpretation of the Frankenstein story with a lot of the social, because, I mean, dude, like, I think it's more appropriate now than it was in the '90s. Whenever you, like, they're on this cruise ship, they go to this beautiful place, and then, like, separated from it, you have, like, you know, poor.
The starving people.
Yes, you have
Yeah.
the
And you see
slums, the
that when you go to
poor.
like Jamaica.
Yes,
It's like, what's
yeah,
that over there? Oh, that's the slums, all those little houses, and you're just there partying, like having a good time.
yeah. So, I mean, it's really interesting, and then the way that like she was here's another thing too. She was reading all these books, and then the dude was like, "Well, he's a cynic, blah 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 blah," blah. And he's like, "You gotta experience it." Like you have all these keyboard warriors online saying what's right and what's wrong, but have any of these people actually experienced this stuff? Have they went out and saw, and you could like, has she experienced it in some form, not to the fullest extent by any stretch of the imagination, but she was a prostitute too,
Yeah.
so you know what I
In
mean? So
Paris.
like, yeah. Um so it's like, did she experience it to some degree, and to enough of a degree to inform her on like the reality of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot like just because you see something on the internet and just because you read something doesn't paint the full picture.
Nah, you're only
But
seeing what they want you to see.
exactly, right? So I don't know. I really enjoyed it overall because I mean it did. It was the oddity of it and like the craziness of the story and the visuals and all that stuff was enough to draw me in. Um and then the subject matter and how like it
Well,
kept taking.
any movie that deals where you have a creator and a created, and the created can talk to the creator. Those are
Yeah.
always interesting films to me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because in its own strange way, one could even shelf this movie next to like Ex Machina.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, it's it. I think it's very. I think what adds more to it now than in the past, though, is just that because at first glance, people are gonna be like, "This movie is just nothing but sex,"
Yeah.
but I think it's almost like the movie does like while there's an argument in the film about philosophy, the movie in and of itself promotes its own philosophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It goes full Russian doll with it,
Yeah.
and it's almost it's like it really keeps it hung up on sex, and that's just weird. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, my viewing is altered because I mean we ain't got to go into it, but I watched the Nickelodeon documentary. So I'm
Mhm.
kind of spent on the way things are depicted in stuff right now because that shit's rough. But I digress. The movies, I don't know. The movies, if the movie aimed to make you uncomfortable, it succeeded for me a little bit.
Well, I mean, there was a couple of moments that things I started getting uncomfortable, but like as she got older and stuff, I was just like, I mean, she has no skill set except furious jumping.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's basic, it's basic, impulses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's a very crazy and wacky concept, the idea of putting her dead newborn's brain in
That was
her
wild.
head,
Why didn't she
it
just tell the guy that when he got her back and he's like, "You're my wife again"? Just tell him, like, dude, it's like you're having sex with your daughter if you have sex. I mean,
it's
Well, I
just
don't.
it I don't know, it's just that whole thing makes me feel like her journey throughout the film is so you can, so you can it's a placeholder, you know? A placeholder for whoever watches this and they feel like in some sort of strange way, some sort of agreeance with the way Bella's decision making folded out in a more, in a more obvious and, realistic approach. But that, the idea of being adventurous, of going out and discovering things, not being confined to, where you're at because of dogma, because of social societal norms, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I also was like, well, maybe she didn't bring it up because it's like I don't know, but she's been around this oddity all her life until she gets out into the world and starts experiencing things. Like, does she know that that's bad? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
does
probably
she
not.
yeah, does she know? Does she understand that that's
Incest.
yeah, like, does she know what that concept
I
is?
mean, she
Like
was just banging dudes for 30 francs.
yeah, right, yeah.
And
So
10
everyone picked
francs.
her.
oh, yeah, of course. It's Emma Stone. I mean, um, this movie reminded me so much, so many times of The City of Lost Children.
Yeah.
Like, it had that same kind of feel, that same kinda look to it, like, I loved how not only did the crazy, backgrounds with the painting and all that kinda stuff, I love the way that looked, but I also like how whenever they would do close-ups, the background was always blurry.
Yeah.
Always, and I started to notice that about halfway through the film. I'm like, especially whenever they're outside, it's hyper focused, and you can tell that there's trees behind them, you can tell that there's stuff behind them, but you can't make out what it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the way that the director and the cinematographer utilize the fisheye lens
Oh
to
yeah.
give
Yeah.
you that feeling of like
A little
oddity.
pinpoint where, yeah.
Yeah. And to me, that was really, really, really cool because, like, especially whenever it would be like a wide shot, like almost a
Mm-hmm.
panorama, and you could see, like, when they're sitting at the table and it's that fisheye lens, and you can see both of them at the extreme edges of the scene, and it's just like the center of it stretched like it was just really cool. It just gave it a different feel and a different level of like,
Well, it's like understanding both characters is almost futile because they're that far away from you. Like
yeah,
almost like like using visual as like a metaphor.
right. Because in a lot of those scenes, whenever they don't use the fisheye lens, the architecture and everything is normal, right? Everything, it doesn't look like a Tim Burton movie. But once they do the fisheye, it warps everything in such a way that it looks like a Tim Burton movie. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I
Mhm.
thought that was really, when they utilize it for certain things, especially whenever you're like looking at things through her perspective, when it's just her, and like focusing specifically on her, it's almost like that's how she sees the world in a way. It's like this warped version of what it really is.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I could watch it again, um, and continue to pick it apart. I just found it very fascinating. All the sex aside,
Yeah.
like,
That part too.
yeah, I mean,
That's
whatever.
fascinating.
Furious jumping, dude.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was different in a
It
good
was
way, in a
different.
great
I
way.
mean,
Yeah.
the guy that did Dogtooth. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna check out
And
some of his other movies because he's got a few. Like,
yeah, I wanna watch those 2 A24 movies he did, the Lobster and Killing of a Sacred Deer.
yeah, the one
It's
with
got
the
Barry
salt burn
Keogh.
in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a murder on the
So,
dance floor.
yeah. But yeah, I'm giving it a full star. I really enjoyed it. This should have been a foreign film. I'm glad it wasn't, but it had the
Yeah.
feels of a you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Willem Dafoe, man, and Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo was good too.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, when
everybody did a
they got on
great
the
job.
boat, dude, and he was all angry, and
Yeah,
he was like trying to get her to come back to the room, and he would just put his hands on his chin, like, like,
yeah.
you know,
His flamboyant
yeah, dude,
overreaction is
it was
great.
funny. I'm gonna give it a star too. I enjoyed it.
um, I'm gonna give it a half. I think the visuals were amazing. I think the cast was great. Most of the moving parts were great. No pun or whatever.
Mm.
There's a sex joke in there. Um, but my thing is at the end of the day, this movie didn't really break any new ground in terms of its ideas and what it can do. And that's a big chunk of what this movie is selling to you. Like, I mean, outside of like more Emma Stone than you've ever seen, or I could be wrong. There's a movie out there where she's just as artistically free, I guess, for lack of better
Mm.
terms. But there's really not much to it outside of that. And for a movie like this to have the types of things that it does, you know, you need to feel like you've walked away from it with a little more than you did going in. And I felt like I was still hit with a lot of the same old messaging and, that type of stuff that we've been seeing for years already. And I know we can copy and paste this argument to a lot of shit, but I don't know. For this one, it's, I don't know, half for me.
I mean, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone to the
She
bone.
fucked her way all the way to an Oscar, dude.
Yeah, legitimately, right? Oh my god.
No,
And they didn't hold
I'll
back. Like,
here's the crazy thing. I will say that her acting in it was great. I mean, outside of her, all of her scenes like with sex and whatnot, like outside of that, like her portrayal of how that character interacts and all that stuff was like it was a fucking crazy performance. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, she went there.
She went full walking Phoenix, dude.
Yeah. But she actually changed the accent.
Well, we didn't have to deal with penis dad in the attic either.
Oh my god, I blocked that out, dude.
Bo is Afraid was such a fucked up movie, Griffin. How could your mind work powerful enough to block that
what are y'all
shit
talking
out,
about?
dude? That big old fucking dick and Bo is Afraid, the
Oh,
dad that's upstairs. Griffin was like, "Oh God, I tried to,
his dad
I
I
tried
must
to
have been a
blocked
block
real
that
it."
out.
dickhead.
Yeah.
I'm
I
guessing
mean,
that's what
dude,
that was about.
how do you not go into work that day as a set designer and not laugh your ass off the whole shift?
I mean,
Like, what are you doing today? We're gonna do some makeup on this fucking big ass dick that we're gonna use in this movie, guys. Come
this
on.
fucking monster cock we got here.
Imagine the NDAs you had to sign because you're like, hey, this is a movie, this is a big reveal in the film, and we'd really appreciate it if you kept your mouth shut.
Do
Sign
not
right
bring
here
the
on the
dick up.
line.
Dude,
Don't
I would have took a selfie with it.
you're dicking it up. Don't be dicking it up. You come in there with a broom, get him out of there. Get out of here. You see too much dick. Come on, go,
Quit
go,
playing with his
go.
balls.
You stared at the sack. No going
Yeah.
back. Get out of here.
We got a little bit of movie news here. I'm going to hit on real quick. So, a shocking number of adults prefer streaming over watching films in theaters.
Duh.
In other news, water's wet.
Yeah.
Are movie theaters ultimately destined to go the way of Old Yeller? It's an interesting notion, arguably worthy of debating. Do most films even need cinemas with the advent of streaming services and VOD options?
Isn't
And
it? I just want to, before you go further, I just want to say, Adam, does it feel weird? And Griffin, I know you agreed with it, but I distinctly remember Adam for a really long time. He was saying, dude, movies are going away, man. Movies are going away. Every episode, movies are going away. Dude, how does it feel to be on the other side and be able to give the biggest I fucking called it?
Well, here's what's happened though. Like, there's a lot of movies that make it to the theater that don't belong in a theater.
yes,
I
They're
mean,
going straight to
you're
streaming. So, like Godzilla, that's a theater movie. Oppenheimer, pretty much
theater movie.
anything made by Christopher Nolan, theater.
yeah,
That's where we're going. Like, we're bringing back. It's going to be quality shit.
yeah.
But don't you think that's got to suck for all the new directors though?
Well, but
No,
they'll put a movie out, get it on a streamer, then they'll get picked up. Like the movie
Well,
we
I
just
think
watched was some guy that was making weird foreign films.
yeah, you're
I
right.
mean, Dogtooth. I never saw that in the theater.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
Coherence, stuff
yeah.
like that.
I mean, coherence. I would have paid to see that. I would have felt satisfied leaving a theater having watched that movie. Been like, okay,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, worth the ticket.
So here it says in a brand new poll conducted by Harris X, it's been revealed that only 34% of adults in the United States actually prefer to watch flicks in movie theaters. The vice president of Harris X, Allison Brady, said of the results, the competition continues between streaming services and the Hollywood engine. While we still see evidence of loyal moviegoers in recent box office numbers, our study shows that two in three movie watchers prefer to stream movies at home. Despite this causing some upheaval for the industry, it also means that the demand for content is only increasing. Nearly half of consumers say they stream movies weekly, more than 7 times as frequently as those who do so in theaters. The online hair sex poll was conducted earlier this week on Monday, March 11th and Tuesday, March 12th. Over 1,000 adults in the U.S. took part, and they were weighted by the following criteria: gender, age, race, income, and regions, where necessary to reflect the population. The movie theaters versus streaming platforms poll's margin of error was calculated at plus or minus 3 percentage points. Now, I mean, and what Adam said is absolutely correct. It's like this, like the model has changed, but the reality of how things are haven't changed. Instead of going to Walmart and picking up a $5 DVD of some B movie that didn't get released in theaters, or watching a movie on TNT, or watching a movie on Sci-Fi
Yeah.
or whatever, people are just streaming it directly. And yes, there's a lot of movies that go to theaters that shouldn't go to theaters. There's a lot of movies that go to streaming that probably should go to theaters. We've seen both versions of that. But it doesn't surprise me because, like, here's the thing. If I can watch it at home, and we've talked about this before, if I can watch it at home in 2 to 3 months after it drops, in the comfort of my house, wearing nothing, eating whatever I want to eat, drinking whatever I want to drink, doing whatever I want to do, pausing it if I got to pee, why would I not do that? There's
Yeah.
nothing that's been that
Yeah.
important other than Avengers.
And well, and that it's coincidental that you bring up Avengers because I think Marvel, DC, just the comic craze in general. All right, so when those movies came out, just follow me. When those movies came out, they started, I mean, they brought it like there's always been demand for blockbuster films, but theaters and just the overall industry seemed to, already have a standard set there. Well, the superhero craze fucked that all up. And what it did is it created a demand because at one point you could go to the theater right now and there's like two different comic book movies, you know, some sort of Jason Statham, Vin Diesel type
Beekeeper.
movie, and maybe the one feel good film.
Yeah.
And you know, theaters and stuff met that demand by what? Building more theaters. Like there were people that were just coming out of the woodwork. I mean, when you think about how these movies gross $1 billion, like just one franchise alone is a bit can make it $1 billion industry. And then you
Yeah.
have multiples of these. So to
Mhm.
meet that demand, what do theater places do? They build more theaters. Everybody starts loading in. Then what finally happens now? We start seeing what happens when those studios that are probably absolutely aware of the type of grip they have on the box office, they decide, you know what? Because our quality is being spread thin, and because the general public is not tired of superhero films, they're tired of shitty written ones.
Madam Web.
And so they have to rethink their strategy. Plus, you factor in the current economy that's going to, I mean,
Yeah. They're bleeding
coming
money.
and coming and going everywhere.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to lay off 1,000 people, but we're gonna put this shitty movie out in the theaters. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's so many different types of factors with market shifts, thought to the way studios and Hollywood at large puts out these films. Because now we're on the part where they're going back to the slow drip a little bit,
Yeah.
and
something
that's
else that's
good.
changed is back when we were younger, technology's come a long way. We used to have
Yes.
tube TVs,
Yes.
flat screens when they came out. Like, why wouldn't I want to sit in my room and watch, you know, whatever on a 60-inch 4K,
Yes.
with a sound bar?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Exactly.
and my thing is that yeah, like the market has to adjust for that because that's the new normal. That's going to be the new. That's the experience, and it's the best experience for movies like stuff like what we watched last week. What we watched like any other foreign film, any of these movies that require a little level like some sort of cerebral approach. There's a message to derive for it. You need to pay attention to it. And I think there's always gonna be a need for theaters. At least I hope.
Well, I mean, dude,
My
they'd have to
opinion.
completely get rid of the Oscars if there's no theaters. Like, it's
Yeah.
not going away.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, but we look at, like, 20, 30 years
It's just
from
not making
now.
money like it used to.
Yeah, and, I think there's a need for it, but I do think that theaters are gonna I mean, and they already are now, but, I mean, it's creating like, they're having to, adjust to that, and I think
Well,
one of
like
the
that one you
greatest
like to go to,
ideas.
recline seats. Like
Mhm.
they got to do something extra to it's just to get
Well, I
people in.
mean, and to me, the greatest thing, at least for our neck of the woods, to promote like theater attendance, it's these it's places like it's areas like this that start to embrace those limited runs. When certain movies come back, the occasional foreign film that did like amazing overseas, and then it gets a small run here and they scoop up one of the copies that's out there.
They're about to
you
run Interstellar again, and
Yeah.
Ex Machina. There's about to hit the IMAX.
and
Yeah.
and you know because that's such an untapped market. Think about how many films that we've seen on home video that were like, damn, wish I could have went back, I should have went and saw that in the theater. Like for me, I would love, I mean, I know we're talking about like very recent, so this isn't going to be happening, but I mean, you know, in another 10, 15 years time, I probably wouldn't mind going to see a small limited run of Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, because I didn't
but
see it in theaters, and I mean, it would be nice to have seen it. I mean, just all kinds of movies.
but at the same time, like, dude, there's been places nearby us that have ran Jaws, Ghostbusters, you name it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that would be cool. And I never go because I have it on Blu-ray. Like,
Hmm.
I
Well,
can watch it in my
well, for
box set.
sure. Well, for sure, and absolutely, I'm right there with you. But I think it takes equal parts the desire to watch that movie again in the first place, but another part to just get up and just go, like, you want the theater experience.
Yeah. See, and here's the thing. I want the theater experience as much as I want to go see a band play.
Yeah,
Like,
it really has to pull at you.
yes. And here's the thing, if there's a show that's happening where there's like 2 or 3 really, really good bands that I wanna see that I've either never seen or haven't seen in several years, then I'm way more interested and way more likely to go to that show. Whereas back in the day, dude, in 2007, 2008, I went to like 20 different
Oh
shows.
yeah,
I
You
mean,
know?
it was just
you
something you
couldn't even
did,
keep up with
yeah.
them back in the day. I mean, I can't tell you how many
Yeah.
I went to.
It's like every
That
weekend.
was yeah, well, yeah, it was, "What are you doing this who are you going to see this
No, it
weekend?"
was. Are you going to the show?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
but
it's
Was
like now that I'm older, it's like I have no desire to
I don't want to
go
go
and
anywhere.
yeah. Well, and
yeah,
it's not
oh,
even
I don't, man.
but I
it's not
think but I think there's also there's gotta be something to be said, though, that we are comparing 2 vastly different experiences here. It's one thing to wanna go to a show in your 30s and early 40s. It's an entirely different thing when you're wanting to go sit down in a theater, get you a nice drink, some snacks, and you're still chilling hard, but you're getting to enjoy it on, like, a 70, 80-foot screen.
yeah. But
I mean yeah,
that's what I'm saying though.
I mean,
Like,
it is a very not niche, but it's a very novel idea, but I think that as time goes on and they refine it to where they don't just run everything, but if they have, like, these anniversary runs like Jaws, like, I think it's gotta be the right movie that calls to you, and the beauty is that a lot of these movies that they do put through, they're movies that are tried and true hits, so there's gonna be attendance,
yeah. Well,
and I mean, I'm just generally making the case just that, like, the stuff that the theater market is doing to try to circumvent low box office numbers, it's an honest effort, and I'm at least glad that they're doing that. Because for a long time around here, uh, the idea of something like, "Oh, they're gonna play Casablanca at the local theater," unheard of.
Yeah. Well, and my thing is like it don't have to be a new movie. It don't have to be an old movie. What is the theater gonna offer me that I can't get at home? Like if I okay, if
The only
and
thing they have is they have a bigger screen. That's it.
and
Well,
that's
yeah.
the thing. So if here's the thing, if Rebel Moon dropped and they played
Okay.
the extended R-rated cut in theaters only, and they released the PG-13 cut on Netflix, and they dropped them at the same time, I would have went to the theaters and watched the R-rated extended director's cut of it.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I'm saying. W- I need more for me. Like
To get out of the house.
unless it's
Yeah.
some dude, I leave the house every day, just like most Americans, working a job, dealing with all this bullshit, and like I can come home now and enter into my fortress of solitude
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
be plugged
Well
into everything.
well, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely an isolated and stationary being myself, but that's one of the things though, and it circles back to the desire to want to just go to the movies because like even though we're watching the movie, we're paying attention though. There's almost this unspoken communal, community type thing that you're chilling with a bunch of people and you're all there for the same reason. Kind of like when you go to shows, like we
Yeah,
were talking about.
yeah,
And I think it definitely calls out to those folks more. I mean, with respect to everyone's, to whatever taste you have in film. I mean, obviously there's going to be films that do these runs where you're like, not my cup of tea, not interested. Then there
yeah.
might be the one that you're like, fuck yeah. Because I mean, for instance, like I went to about several weeks ago. I'd went to a limited screening of a movie, you know, at one of the nearby theaters, and I'll be honest, it was really cool. It was one of the more cooler experiences I've had watching a movie because like for instance, you go watch a Marvel film that's on opening weekend. You got the hassle of, everyone in their plus ones, all the bits and grievances of being in a packed theater on opening weekend. It's all there. It always is. But when you go like to the something like that, there's this almost like weird unspoken appreciation, and everyone just like everyone's more attentive. It's more quiet. It was the quietest watching experience I've seen.
Mhm.
Like I hadn't sat in a theater that silent since Spider-Man got dusted.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the only big blockbuster moment where that just had people fucking like, oh shit, what the hell, and just being able to kind of feed, like it's almost like when you're showing a buddy a movie for the first time, and
yeah.
you feel them pull back from the scenes that are too much. You
Mhm.
see them getting rivet. It's like that, but you get to experience with strangers. I mean, this stuff you guys already know. I know. Like I'm stating a lot of obvious here, but for the sake of argument, I feel like I think that just that experience alone, just like when you go to a drive-in, they're just experiences, and being able to find a way to still promote that, especially with a lot of, for lack of better terms, analog methods of doing things are being more streamlined and whatnot. Like I totally embrace stuff moving forward, sure, but I just think it's always cool to have a reason to still go buy a movie ticket. And
Yeah,
I like what little stuff they're doing now because it's only going to get better.
yeah. Well, and so I mean, we'll see how everything kind of shakes out on that. But like, I don't know. It doesn't surprise me that most people want to just watch the stream, watch it streaming or watch their movie streaming. I mean, if they
Oh,
compared the
absolutely.
data, I would be interested to see back in like let's say 98 to 2002, that gap of time, how many people were watching movies on cable versus going to the theater? What I guarantee you it's very much the same.
Yeah.
The only
We used to
thing,
go to the theater all the time though. Like I mean, it
yeah,
was
I know.
Blockbuster, the theater.
Yeah.
What it's gonna hit? Like cable's gonna go. Like traditional
Yeah.
cable. Who the fuck watches that?
Old people.
Oh, you're right.
Older people.
Well, as they die off,
yes, yeah.
because like you can get,
Yeah.
everything's gonna go to a streaming service at some point.
Exactly.
And
so,
I don't want to watch it live. I'm gonna watch it on my time, even if I have cable. I'm TiVoing.
dude,
I'm
if
DVRing that shit.
if TV Land had its own streaming service, cable would be shut off across the nation. If Game
Well,
Show Network and TV Land had their own
Game
channels,
Show
but-
Network does. There is a game show channel.
oh God,
I'm gonna have to root for the underdog here, though, man. Antenna is still keeping up, man. It truly is. It's
Well,
like
and-
What
short.
about local
It's short.
stations?
Well, I mean, just in general, like
I mean,
that's the
everybody's
thing.
always
It's,
gonna watch
it's
the local news and shit. Like,
well,
yeah,
but it's
Weather.
expanded. It's expanded a lot more than that. Like they have their own version of movie channels now that just play movies all day. Like
Yeah.
they have,
no, we're catching up, Trav. That's the thing.
but we're talking about something you have to pay for.
Yeah,
Like I'm talking about cable, like $180 a month for some fucking direct TV when you
Yeah.
can get it from YouTube for $70,
yeah,
and you
Yeah,
get
true,
unlimited
true.
DVR.
yeah. Yeah, it's gonna kill cable for sure. And like this isn't the only thing that's different between 20 years ago and now is the fact that like people are able to collect data
Internet.
themselves. Yes.
Well, just
that's the
overall
game changer.
select. Well, just the power of selection and power of choice now too, man.
yeah. So
I mean, just
Speak-
being able to take a film from going and having to be just cutting off the parameter of being at a broadcaster's discretion. That's what really, to me, that's what truly changed the game and all of that.
yeah. So next up here, Winnie the Pooh horror crossover event, Pooniverse.
Mhm.
We'll get to that here in just a second. And
Or
now
Did we
the
just watch
weirdest-
that?
Or the weirdest porn ever.
dude, all right, it's heavily influenced by Freddy versus Jason and the Avengers. When I saw that it was Pooniverse, I'm like,
Yeah.
Rocco's coming out of
I
retirement.
love how you just nonchalantly went, yeah, it's inspired by Freddy vs. Jason and Avengers. That's
But Pooniverse-
absurd. That's
Yeah.
fucking
I'm here
So,
for it.
Winnie
Cue
the
the
Pooh.
A-Team music, man.
Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey has a lot to answer for, as Jagged Edge Productions has announced their ultimate goal for the public domain slasher franchise, a huge crossover event entitled Pooniverse Monsters Assemble. The release of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey was timed to perfection, arriving as the cuddly bear from AA. I can never pronounce this dude's name. The stories entered the public domain and became fair game for anyone willing to deconstruct it and put it back together in any way of their choosing. The film was a box office success, thanks mainly to the novelty value of seeing what was being done with the bear of very little brain and his friend Piglet. That has now instigated a wave of follow-up movies, including a sequel to arrive this month, as well as horrific takes on Bambi, Pinocchio, and Peter Pan. Now, the grand plan for all these movies has been revealed, with the team wanting to bring together all of their twisted children's characters in one big monster mashup. In this statement, director Rise Frake Waterfield said, "It will be complete carnage. We are heavily influenced by Freddy vs. Jason and the Avengers. We would love to see a horror movie where the villains group together and are going after their survivors. We have some incredible set pieces in mind and some sequences I think will truly shock people. The movies we are working on now as standalones are all building towards Pooniverse Monsters Assemble. Similar to the Avengers, we will follow Pooh, Tigger, Rabbit, Owl, Piglet, Pinocchio, Sleeping Beauty, Bambi, the Mad Hatter, Peter Pan, and Tinkerbell joining forces to wreak havoc. We are working with a larger scale budget on this one and are excited for what the future will hold. When you see standalone movies, you will see the Easter eggs hinting toward the crossover. Some of the villains also will not see eye to eye, which will allow for some carnage within the group and some epic sequences of monster versus monster.
So
If
everybody's getting killed.
Winnie the Pooh.
yeah,
I like
Budaverse,
how you,
dude.
yeah. People are
It's
gonna fire
this
that
is
up, and they're gonna be like, "Not what I had in mind," but
yeah, yeah.
I'm here for
Get
it.
the lotion, you
Yeah.
know.
I figured the box that it comes in would be bigger.
Yeah, yeah, right.
So
Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh.
This is gonna be like we're definitely podlocked on the Poonaverse,
yeah,
right?
man, we gotta watch part
Oh,
2 when it comes out. Whenever
I
that
mean,
drops.
Yeah,
bro, we gotta
March
watch the
26th.
we gotta watch the Pooner cut too when it comes out.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Don't worry, it's only smells.
the 4 fucking hour edition.
So Thundercats live action movie director offers promising updates. Definitely one of the top priorities. So
Ayo.
Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire director Adam Wingard, has offered a promising update on his long gestating Thundercats movie, revealing that the adaptation of the beloved 80s cartoon could be, quote, the next thing he does. Speaking with Gizmodo, Wingard revealed that he and his writing partner Simon Barrett are now actively working on the Thundercats project again, and the movie is one of their top priorities. Simon and I are still actively working on the script. We finished our last draft basically right when I was going into production on this movie, and we just had to put everything on hold. But right now, we're actively working on it again. So, whether that means that it's the next thing I do or not, I'm not sure. But it's definitely one of the top priorities I have right now in terms of working on a script. Live action Thundercats movie is something that Hollywood Machine has been working on for quite some time now, with Wingard first announced as director back in 2021. While updates have been infrequent as of late, writer Simon Barrett has previously teased the scope and vision of the movie, the warning that audiences are not prepared for what's to come. I will say this, our Thundercats adaptation is going to be really, really cool. I don't think people are at all prepared for how long Adam Wingard has spent thinking about Thundercats. They're not ready for Adam's Thundercat movie. It's going to destroy.
Dude, with the level of stuff he's done with the Kong Godzilla stuff, let this guy go hard as
In
fuck
the
on some
paint.
Thundercats. Dude, let it go off the fucking rails, man.
Dude, that
I'm totally
motherfucker.
down. I'm totally down for sword and sandal with fucking cats. Let's do it. Like,
He's from Oak
Adam,
Ridge, Tennessee.
yeah, it's
I don't know
wild,
where
right?
that's at. It's like right next to Skyline, dude.
Yeah,
God bless that guy.
It's crazy that look how far he's gone.
yeah.
May the foothills of Appalachia look down on him.
He's out there trying
And
to direct him. He's like, "Ah, what you want to do is throw them cameras over and give me the light up here real quick, man." They're like, "What the fuck did he say?"
He's like,
yeah,
just shut up, man. Let me cook.
Yeah.
I'm excited for a live action Thundercats. I mean, to
Well,
me,
it seems like it seems like Wingard is looking at this as a passion project, and that's gonna make it even better, I would say.
oh yeah, for sure, yeah. And to me, like this, out of all of the like cartoon 80s cartoon properties that would be interesting to see adapted into live action, this has me more excited than Transformers did or He-Man or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
dude. I mean, dude, he's got to he's got to give it. He's got to give us the fucking moment, dude. Lionel gets that fucking sword.
yeah,
I mean, if you know, you know,
yeah.
and if you don't, go fucking watch an episode of Thundercats. You fucking uncivilized goose. I almost fucking fucked that up. Never mind.
Let's move past that.
So Salem's Lot remake is skipping theaters for streaming on Max. So the mystery of when we will see Gary Dauberman's take on Stephen King's Salem's Lot has finally been solved after the film was pulled from the 2022 release calendar. Per deadline, Warner Brothers Discovery has announced that the film will skip theaters entirely and premiere exclusively on Max streaming service this year. An official date for when it will hit the platform was not revealed, but it felt like this was the direction this release was taking, despite David Zaslav asserting that the company was going all in on theatrical and was stepping away from straight to streaming releases. Salem's Lot was originally positioned by New Line Warner Brothers to be a big horror player in the same way that the It franchise was. That series cleared 1.1 billion across 2 entries and was also adapted from one of King's popular works. The studio even brought on the co-writer of those films, Gary Dauberman, to pen, direct, and produce Salem's Lot, likely hoping to achieve similar success. The movie was originally set to debut during the Labor Day weekend slot of 2022, another space that proved successful for It Chapter 1 and 2, but it was suddenly pulled from the schedule amid reports that the film needed reshoots. The movie was then moved to April 2023, but was again pushed from that date in favor of Evil Dead Rise. Following that announcement, the film remained undated until the current news that it would be heading straight to streaming. I'm interested to see a modern day take on Salem's Lot. I love that book. It was one of my favorite King books that I've read so far, and I'm interested to see how they do it. So,
And guess what? It's coming straight to streaming.
I know, right? I ain't even got to leave the house,
Potluck.
Yeah. I'm excited. They could do some really interesting, eerie stuff, and yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's my argument for most of Stephen King's work. It's only going to be like the 10 millionth time it's been told.
Uh, I mean, it's always going to be
I mean,
there's
it's a
always
good
going to be a King.
classic. I mean, it's a classic. Don't get me wrong. It
Yeah,
made it made it 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 made the Nosferatu style cool again, you know?
yeah. Well, and I'm hoping that it's one of those films that makes vampires not sexy and actually makes them like
Yeah, that'd be
scary.
nice.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
that was
yeah,
the
go ahead.
that was the thing about Salem's Lot. Like when I was reading it and all that good stuff, it's like, this is like traditional vampire. You know what I mean? Like it just worked really well, and I hope that they are able to capture that in the film. So you know,
They gotta give us the whole moment where Court straight punks the fuck out of Callahan.
yeah, I know, right?
He's like, "You ain't shit, little man," you know?
Yeah. I wonder who they cast as Callahan. Like, I'm excited because I don't think the cast has been revealed yet. And if it has, I haven't seen it, so I'm interested to see who they've. Let me see.
Haven't they shot that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. All right. So Lewis Pullman, is this Bill Pullman's son?
Probably.
He looks like he looks. He was in Top Gun Maverick. He played Bob. He's got a strong chin. Anyway, um,
I mean,
John
dude, look
Benjamin
at him. It
Hickey.
looks like him.
I know. It looks just like him, right? So John Benjamin Hickey is playing Father Callahan.
Yep, that's his dad. Strong
He
chin.
looks, yeah, really strong.
He's really good on that Outer Range show. He's good on there. Plays Red.
Mm.
Don't fret, Red.
Outer Range is really good, by the way.
It shouldn't be long. We'll have another season.
So I'm interested to see what you guys think about this. A new report says that Aaron Taylor Johnson has now been offered the role of James Bond following Daniel Craig's departure.
Love it.
According to some mysterious sources, he has reportedly been chosen. As per a report by the British newspaper The Sun, Taylor Johnson has been offered the role of the next 007 following Daniel Craig's departure from the role in 2021's No Time to Die, with production aiming to begin as soon as later this year. Bond is Aaron's job, should he wish to accept it. The formal offer is on the table, and they are waiting to hear back. As far as Eon is concerned, Aaron is going to sign his contract in the coming days, and they can start preparing for the big announcement.
I mean,
They saw that Bullet Train movie. What was it
Yeah,
called?
they're
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah.
yeah. After
They saw
seeing
that and
Bullet
was like,
Train, I can
mhm.
believe it.
I rewatched that recently.
They can't fuck James Bond up any more than they already have. So
Well, we're starting over.
The bar is pretty low. But I mean, he's
I
a
thought it was gonna
strong
be Tom
pull.
Hardy.
Fuck you, you cunt.
Dude,
I
he's
said
too
shaking, not stood.
Yeah, he's too violent
Yeah.
to be a Bond. But who knows? That could be the role of a lifetime. You know, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
So last up here, Patty Jenkins reveals that the DCU's James Gunn and Peter Safran are, quote, not interested in doing more Wonder Woman, praises her superhero inspiration. Like so many other DCU like so many other DCU fixtures, including actors Henry Cavill and Ray Fisher, Wonder Woman filmmaker Patty Jenkins became a casualty of DC Studios' emergence from within Warner Brothers Discovery. During a sit down on the Turner Classic Movies and Max produced podcast, Talking Pictures, Jenkins revealed to host Ben Mans, I don't know how to
Sal
pronounce that.
Mandini, want to wrestle?
Yeah. DCU bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran are, quote, not interested in pursuing more Wonder Woman films, at least for the time being. When asked if Jenkins was done with Wonder Woman, she answered, yeah, for the time being. Yeah, but probably. Easily forever. Easily forever. Yeah. Then asked if someone else would be making a third Wonder Woman movie, and Jenkins responded by saying, no, they're not interested in doing any Wonder Woman for the next time being. James Gunn and Peter Safran have to follow their own heart into their own plans, so I don't know the why.
Wonder Woman is a supporting character now.
I
Like
bet
she'll be
when they
scattered.
asked, when she hit them up, like, you guys have any? They got like the email. They just busted out laughing.
Yeah,
You know?
this bitch, yeah.
But she's going back to Squadrons, right? They said that's back on.
I don't
I
know
saw a
what's
thing a
happening
week
over.
ago, yeah.
I don't know what's happening
Yep,
over in
pretty
Star Wars
sure.
world. It looks like South Park is like imitating, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm just gonna leave that there. But you know, it's fine.
Oh, poor Patty.
Yeah, right.
You know, I will say that her like a Rogue Squadron movie would have been interesting. Like good, I don't know,
A lot more
but
interesting
interesting,
than
sure. Well, I mean, I feel
Wonder
like
Woman.
if it would have tapped into like Star Wars Top Gun, probably would have been a banger, man.
I mean, not even Pedro Pascal could save that second movie. It's like you had everything you needed. And you still all the money in the world, Pedro, and you still fucked it up.
Yep. Well, I mean, it was about Iraq. And not the country Iraq. It was about a literal it was about Iraq. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was Wishmaster, the Wonder Woman edition. What are we doing? Am I really gonna get back on my Wonder Woman soapbox?
No.
Yeah, it's trailer
off the
time.
edge. Come off the edge, dude.
What the
Don't
fuck
jump,
are we
man.
doing?
You got so much to live for.
Yeah. Inspire hope my fucking ass. All right. I'm done. I'm ready for trailers before I get dude, my blood pressure, I can feel it's already
Yeah.
going up. Of course, James Gunn was like, "What the fuck are you thinking?"
Here's how you elevate Griffin's blood pressure. You just go, Chitara wasn't a bad villain.
Man,
I think he just broke his. Oh, he's there.
yeah,
He just
I'm here.
I'm fucking kidding, man.
smashes his damn
That's
case.
focus.
Yeah, fuck you. All right, I'm ready for trailers. Let's do it.
The play-in for everyone.
Yeah. Oh God, not one of these.
Oh man. I guess Rob Schneider was busy. I'm sold.
I'm digging this character actor shit Chris Pine's going for.
He's like a straight up beach bum. I think that's an iguana. So you've heard of California? I mean, Florida man. This is California man.
Yeah, right.
Looks like a silly goose time.
Yeah. Looks better than Inherent Vice.
Oh. They had everything they needed. It's funny because my ad's a trailer.
Mine is too. The
First Omen.
Omen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Just pause it. Back it back up.
Yeah. Oh, we got Mila Jovovich.
Yep. She's knocking on doors, passing out pamphlets.
Mm.
Walk on the
Jehovah's
pavement.
Witness.
Right.
No. Back it up. Now play.
Back it up, Terry.
I'm Terry. That common?
Yeah.
Not to kill each other when I'm gone. Wonder what did that. Damn. Low oxygen has a damn effect on the city, huh?
Yep.
So
Is this
did
a
the
Resident
government?
Evil movie?
I was gonna say, did the government pass out these masks and stuff like when everything hit the fan?
Oh, so
Panic
this is
room.
like Panic Room.
Ah!
Yeah.
They'll pass out first.
Let's say Sam Worthington.
Yeah.
There he is. Is that Jennifer Hudson?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But the thing is like you can breathe it. It's just gonna fuck your
Yeah.
lungs up.
In
That's
theaters
what-
and on demand the same day.
Yeah. I got no trailer or
It looks
no
low
ad.
B. I like low T, but budget
Low
stuff,
B.
testosterone. Looks low B.
Yeah. Damn, brother.
We got a little Nick Cage. He's fucking making a comeback, dude.
I know. I love it. Look at him.
It's like I want to make a Shudder movie. Another climate movie. I thought this trailer was interesting when I saw it. Kind of got a Signs vibe. Watch this fucking shit.
The fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Are they werewolves?
I don't know what the fuck it is. Look like trolls or something. It's water. Use water.
It kind of reminds me of I Am Legend.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Got to add for the first moment again.
yeah, me
They're
too.
pushing that pretty hard.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna add the pass.
I want to see this.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much buzz online about this movie.
They're playing for everyone.
Yeah.
Playing for you, Drew. Okay.
Shudder might be killing it.
He looks like a 70s talk show host.
He does.
He really does, man.
Is that fucking Tom Waits?
The devil. Mm.
Lily's not here.
Yeah. Suck your cock, pretty boy.
That looks so
Oh.
good. I haven't watched this trailer and I'm excited about it. We got Johnny Knoxville, Theo, and Bobby Lee.
There's a bunch of them in here. They're like, we'll pick these 3 names.
Got Crocs
Not on the
on.
Crocs, dude. Got Gator. You know that was improv.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was going to be that kind of movie, did you?
No.
Yeah. Was he in that? Was it the Benchwarmers or something? Jeffy?
Yeah.
Dirty aliens, he said. Ah. Oh, see. Oh,
Okay.
we got to get good at baseball.
Save the house.
Bobby's laugh. Skeet dreams.
Jay looks completely different without hair. I want to watch it. It looks good.
That motherfucker's hilarious. Yeah. It's a foreign.
I see they spelled Parasite with a Y.
Yeah.
It's edgy foreign.
Japanese, I think. That's COVID. Bitcoin.
Oh, it's the faculty.
That dude's like, I got a
What
fucking
the
headache.
fuck? Train to Busan.
It'll probably be a banger.
Oh,
What was that fucking video? Was it Resident Evil?
yeah.
Kind of had the things with the. Fuck that noise. He's got 3 eyes. Well, give the fucking movie away, why don't you? The Gray. Ooh.
Korean Invasion of the Body Snatchers looks wild.
Yeah. Oh, we got Rebel Moon, the new.
That new name?
Yeah. Everybody good, no ads?
Yeah, I'm good. The Scargiver. The Scargiver.
She gonna have a baby or something?
She's just really hot.
Let's go. You guys are fucking feeding. I'm reporting.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins is. Oh shit! You hear the song?
Yeah.
Are they about to play Cochise?
I think they are.
Please. It is. Oh, she's the scar giver. Ooh. What the fuck y'all up? Mm. Dude looks like Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
Okay, so they saved the good shit for part 2. Huh? Epic. Fucking roll.
Damn, that's soon.
And then we'll
I
get
can't wait.
2 extended. They're gonna do it to
Yeah.
both of them, right? Mm.
Yeah. Like it's gonna be like 3 hours a piece plus maybe. Which I'm for it.
Love it.
Fallout?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a little Walton Scoggins going on.
Baby
over
Billy,
here.
sit down, baby Billy.
We're gonna get you new teeth.
I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
Oh. The green door. This drops soon too. Oh, that sound.
Yeah. The rad.
I haven't played that game yet. The one where you're a chick.
No.
Y'all know who that
You-
is. Ain't no
Yeah.
slut. And then drops that They had to bring this classic song back.
It's Matt Berry, right?
Yeah. It's Ben from Lost. She's pregnant. The Brotherhood. So I could get one of those badass mech suits.
Yeah, for real.
If you want to know. Oh, he's gonna be so good. Oh, Blue Velvet. This shit looks amazing. Damn. Give me the date. Woo! All episodes. They're
Yep.
dropping it all at once.
Yep.
I know what I'm gonna be doing the whole day.
Yeah, for real, right? Calling in.
So I've got the ad for that X-Men.
Yeah, same.
I heard more on why they fired the guy.
Oh, what happened?
So he was like really difficult to work with.
Mm.
And he was like getting on OnlyFans and shit at the office.
What?
Yeah, dude. There was like he was getting on OnlyFans and
Wow.
leaving comments and stuff. Like it was
That's-
wild. Now that could be bullshit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's some of the
That's wild.
stories. Oh, this is the new the fucking Star Wars. Did y'all see the screenshot of the Wookiee? The Wookiee Jedi?
I've got Furiosa.
What?
Yeah.
Furiosa's pulled up for me.
So
Oh, it is before that. Yeah, okay. You're right.
I am excited for this. I think Hemsworth's the villain, right?
Don't eat that. Ugh. Damn. He's wearing prosthetics.
Yeah.
Look at that. A horse-powered drawn chariot. This fucking looks better than the other one. Oh, it's got the guy, the guitar guy. Oh my God.
isn't that Francis will have her revenge by Nirvana they're reworking?
What now?
Yeah.
Isn't that song Francis Bean will have her revenge on Seattle?
I think it is. It is. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That looks fucking epic,
Yeah.
man.
That's gonna make me want to go to the theater.
Like it looks better than that other one. The one with Tom Hardy.
Well, the other one was still really good.
Yeah. What is that creature?
Um, that's what I look
Simeon.
like when I wake up.
Yeah. You're just like, I need coffee.
Yeah,
Look
what
at his little
time
sausage
is it?
fingers.
Yeah,
All right.
I'd hang out with him. Mhm.
If I
I'll
do
fall
that, I can't see
asleep.
the trailer. We training Jedis. They said, what's that thing, Trav? The screen they shoot on.
The volume.
They did not use that on this. Real sets.
Oh, what is Trinity doing there?
Definitely her. Ooh.
Is Neo gonna show up?
Wookiee Jedi.
A wet eye?
Yeah. That's what I do when I
He's
go
so
through automatic
tall.
doors. Who's holding the red one? Oh, they're not going to
Anakin.
show us. Sheesh. 2 episode premiere.
In
I'll know
June.
it.
I've been nervous, but that
Looks
that
pretty
trailer
good.
delivered. Yeah.
All right. After I saw this on like TikTok. Somebody was like, let's check out the trailer for fucking, you know. And I was upset with the picture before, but it looks, after seeing this, I'm like, okay. I mean,
Yeah, I haven't seen this, so I'm excited.
I haven't seen it either, so
let's crack on.
it's Le Crow.
Your Post Malone tattoos.
Mm.
That is fucked up. It's funny because this is a Post Malone song with Ozzy on it. It's a little crow talk.
Damn.
That dude kind of looked like Philip Seymour Hoffman. Oh shit. Looks pretty bloody, dude.
I'm interested.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I got an ad.
Me too.
We know what it's for. All right. Get out of that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Dude, he was
Yeah.
shooting that guy behind him.
Yeah.
It looks like way more blood than the other Crow.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
Yeah, it looks
so we're going
brutal.
full R, I'm guessing.
the
Yeah.
hardest.
But
He tapped that guy in the head.
after seeing that though, I'm like, he could do a good Joker.
Yeah. Yeah. I
What's the
agree.
one? They sold that statue where he's got the Joker's got those dogs chained up.
Oh,
The laughing.
yeah, the bat who laughs or whatever.
Like the really dark Joker. It's like, anyway, it's that time again.
I'm ready, dude. Violence. Mm-hmm.
The kata continues.
I love it. Like every movie has. I mean, remember back in the day we used to do that. Every movie had a song.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Here's this fucking sticks,
Yeah.
dude.
Man, we were all singing and dancing a minute ago. What happened? This must be what it's like to live over there. 1 minute you're doing a sing song, next minute the cops are beating the shit out of you.
Why does this dude look like Key? Key and Peele?
Mm. The cop or the guy was on the
Yeah.
ground?
The
Oh,
cop with the mustache.
Beautiful places here. Come
He
on.
is fucking people up.
Come
God.
on.
See, he looks like Key.
He kind of does. That tank
fucking
is
recording.
no way that
Yeah.
goes that fast. Ooh. Ah.
What was that?
I don't know. He was like, "You better not drip.
Yeah.
I'll fuck you up." Damn.
Wild.
We haven't had one that good in a while.
Yeah, right.
When I saw that, I was like, "This is it."
He was wrecking people with that sledgehammer,
Shit,
dude.
dude, when he hit that one guy in the face on the side and it just
Yeah.
his face disappeared, it was like, he's like, "No face, no case." We got the fucking Iron Claw, man, dude. I'm hearing all these like on podcasts that people talking about. They're like sad as fuck.
Mm.
But you know,
Yeah. That's the world of professional wrestling, dude.
I'm
Sad.
excited to watch. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, same.
Well,
Same.
oh, honorable mention. Masters of the Air.
Yes.
It's a, they wrap up the war at the end. It's done. It was a one and done. Loved it. Great show.
How many episodes?
9.
That
About
ain't
an hour
bad.
each.
How was Elvis?
Killed it.
Hell yeah.
Name's Buck. He's a good pilot. One hell of a pilot. Sometimes you can't hear him though because he's low and slow.
I mean,
I'm like, I had to turn the subtitles on, but it was good.
dude, I had to turn the subtitles on for Poor Things. Especially at the beginning, whenever she's like infant brain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the is she saying what I think she's saying right now?
We didn't even
So,
talk
yeah.
about it, but dude from Training Day, Ethan Hawke's daughter at the end was the one with the next baby brain.
Yeah.
Maya
The
Hawke,
chick
that's her
from
name.
from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh no, that's not her. Then it's damn it, her mother's
Uma
and-
Thurman?
no,
Is that
damn
Ethan
it.
Hawke?
It's not her. It's not the same. I got them
Okay.
mixed up. It's the chick from Groundhog Day.
Oh,
That's
Jenna
her
Davis?
mother. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Huh?
What?
Groundhog Day?
Who's in Groundhog Day?
Hang on.
Is it not Jenna Davis?
Jenna Davis. No, dude.
No, it's Andy McDowell.
Annie McDowell, yeah. Her
Okay,
daughter.
God. She looks like Jenna Davis, kind of. Wow.
That took too long.
I know.
Roll it back. Delete it.
We're over here talking about,
Yeah.
you know.
You like, when you said Stranger Things, like, oh no, but it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
yeah,
the
okay.
hitchhiker girl, she's like, Miss Hitchhiker, he was like, how old are you?
Yeah,
Like,
she's
going
like,
to
"You're
jail for that.
15." Yeah.
No, I am not.
No,
Arrivederci.
I am not.
Checks in
Oh,
the mail, man.